loves, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about microblading and all of the questions, commonly asked questions that I have been asked myself and that I've seen on the internet when I was researching myself. The first question, what is microblading? Microblading is a tattoo, a semi-permanent tattoo, which kind of contradicts itself because tattoos are supposed to be permanent. But a lot of people think that microblading will last you forever, and the concern is that, you know, this brow trend might go out of style, or you might hate your brows, or like the girl messes it up, or whatever may be your concern on a tattoo. Microblading actually lasts 1 to 3 years. Microblading is a form of tattooing. Basically it is a manual handheld tool, like kind of like an X-Acto knife. It's like a series of needles. It's not like actual like X-Acto knife. It just is very like tiny, and then there's like little tiny needles on it, if that makes sense, where they implant the pigment into your skin, but the pigment doesn't penetrate the layers deep enough to be permanent. The second question is, where do I get these done? A lot of salons offer them now. I actually got mine done. I live in Michigan. I got them done at Salon West Dearborn. I got them done by a woman named Huda. She is amazing. If you're in my area, I highly suggest you go to her. The healing process is like the process of any healing tattoo. If you have a tattoo, if you don't, basically you can't put any makeup on over them for the 2-week duration or 3-week duration of your healing process. Depends on how long it takes you to heal. Mine took about 2 weeks. Some people it takes a week. It just depends. And you also need to apply Aquaphor or some sort of ointment over your brows to keep them moisturized so they don't fade or create holes in them. You need to do the same thing when you have a regular tattoo. You need to keep it fully moisturized until it actually heals into your skin and doesn't feel like a tattoo anymore. You can't feel the bumps anymore or anything. The healing process kind of sucks because you start out with these gorgeous like full dark brows, and they're not going to be that dark at first. They actually fade into their real color later, but the pigment actually takes 2 weeks to fully develop. So about like the start of week 2, you have like eyebrows that don't look good because they're still healing. But then by the end of week 2, you have the pigment fully there and it looks good. But yeah, it wasn't cute walking around like that. I felt like my high school eyebrows, and I felt like people were looking at me like, ew, why did she look so weird? And I was just like, don't look at my brows. Now if you don't let them heal properly, you know, you can't be submerging them in water. Not that I don't really understand why you would be submerging your face in water. And you can't put makeup on them, absolutely no makeup on them. Like, I put foundation around them, but I did not put any makeup on them, because if you don't let them heal properly, there is a chance of infection, and we all know how bad that can get, especially on your face. Mine was around $350 to $450. My first session was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was $250, and my last session was $175. A lot of the salons have the touch-up price included in the price, where mine did not. So basically how it works is your first session, she, or he I guess, will map out like how you want your brows. He'll like fill them in and show you, you know, is this the shape you want, like what color do you want, how dark do you want it, like basically the consultation. And then they will start actually doing the tattoo. My lady had a shading machine, which was like a tattoo machine, and it was basically just to put pigment on and to make it feather out more and look more natural. And then she went in with the actual tool and started carving the brow hairs. And after I was done, I like really like loved it. I was like, wow, but they were really dark, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be this dark, and they definitely did not even turn out that dark. They're like 4 shades lighter than they originally were when I walked out of the salon. The second appointment, they always schedule a touch-up appointment in case that the color didn't take enough or you want a darker shade. The second appointment was pretty much more of the same. It didn't take as long. She didn't use the shading machine this time. She just used the microblade needle, and I'm so happy with them. Like, I honestly highly recommend it if you hate your eyebrows without makeup. Like, microblading is for you, because like I don't mind not wearing makeup anymore than I have eyebrows, and it looks so natural. Like, I'll insert some before and after pictures so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is the before shot. Like, as you can tell, my natural brows are like super sparse, like end really early. They're supposed to end like here, and they start I don't know, they start weird and they're uneven. So as you guys can see, there's little hairs, like ink hairs, starting at the beginning of my brow. And then you can kind of see how it's peeling all through here. This one's peeling pretty bad too, but this has all peeled. And these are little of the ink strokes. And then this is all still peeling. It takes around, I was in her chair for maybe hour and a half. Depending on your brows, it could take up to 2.5 hours, 3 hours, but it's usually really quick depending on how experienced the artist is, you know, what your needs are with your brows. The touch-up session was only like 35 minutes. My lady, she used numbing cream the first appointment, but the second appointment she wasn't able to. I forget for what reason she said why, but it was legitimate and I wasn't upset about it. It hurt a decent amount. I wouldn't say that I was in agony, but I'm not gonna say I was comfortable either. Like, it was definitely like a literal X-Acto knife carving into your face. So if you think that is gonna hurt, it does. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting your tattoos, really, yeah, same. Your eyebrows microbladed, I highly recommend it. I completely think it was worth the price. They say you should get it touched up about once a year, which I plan on doing. And I'm just so much more confident in not wearing makeup because I have eyebrows now than I was before, because my eyebrows were just so sparse. I had overplucked them from high school. They were like no shape to them. They were just not cute, and I'm so glad I got them microbladed because you really can't tell. And if you guys are wondering what it like looks like, you can obviously Google it and look it up. I will link my girl's Instagram down below if you live in my area and you want to go to her. But yeah, these aren't them right now because I fill them in when I have a full face of makeup just because it looks more put together. But my eyebrows do look amazing. Alright guys, that is pretty much all the questions I can think of that I had. If you guys have any other ones, I will gladly answer them in the comments below. Just let me know what they are.